Oh, she's not filming. She identifies the camera. So, nothing to do with me.
Do you identify as a camera?
Do you think genitals define gender?
No.
Why?
You can do, it's your body and your choice, and you can do whatever you want.
So, like, what if I wanted to change my race? Is that okay?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, guys, I'm so scared. The Antifa, they brought their play guns, their squirt guns. Oh my God, your arts and crafts time. Did this mess up your arts and crafts time? You guys gonna be able to go home and play with your arts and crafts?
Why is it so tiny?
Look how scary they are. Oh my God, this guy's so scared. I'm so scared. He's got his gun, his big gun. He's a big bad guy. Oh my God, I'm so happy you're protecting these children so they can go get indoctrinated and go in there for transgender story time. You're such a good American. God bless this guy. Look at him. I'm scared.
How dare you?
I mean, these people, these are the real cowards. They're hiding behind their masks. They got their little guns. They think they're so tough. We're at a bookstore here in Denton, Texas, where they're trying to do drag queen story hour. And of course, the typical people here with their masks on, not able to actually stand up for what they believe in because they're all cowards. Officer, you think it's unusual they have their assault weapons like that out here in front of a place like this? Is that normal? No comment.
These people are seriously not okay, and there's something completely wrong with them. These woke individuals literally armed themselves to protect these people who are reading adult books to children. They brought guns for that reason. I really appreciate Alex Stein going out to these people and showing them as the clowns that they really are. Because in today's day and age, unfortunately, most people don't even have common sense.
Good evening, cowards. A bunch of fat, ugly women. What?
Excuse you!
They're fat, ugly women is what they are.
We're not having that.
You don't have to. Bye.
That ain't free speech.
It's called free speech. Bye.
Hey, that's not free speech. That's insulting.
Bye. That's good. Shut up. And we wonder why children are stupid today. We wonder why when we have these pathetic people here called teachers, the children's mind. That's why you people don't have the brains to see that this could be hurting children of the future who are going to grow up and be just as dumb as you people.
It definitely is free speech. Just because you don't like the insult he said towards you doesn't mean it's not free speech. I'm sure these people have insulted people in their lives and didn't say it's not free speech. The only reason right now it's not free speech to them is because these people just don't like what he's saying. These people are so soft, they're not used to people speaking directly to them.
My pronouns aren't preferred, they are mandatory. Do not purposefully misgender trans people. You do not get to decide how someone identifies. My pronouns aren't preferred, they are mandatory.
Last year in Milwaukee, they had a pride event, and a psychologist set up a tent there with a sandwich board outside saying, trans or non-binary, 3 letters of recommendation for surgery. All you had to do was walk up to this psychologist and they'll just rubber stamp your letter that you need to go get surgery. There are no safeguards anymore for these kids. And to even suggest that these children need therapy is to invalidate their gender identity.
Yeah.
The statistics on this are 98% of children who start on puberty blockers progress across sex hormones.
You were the one that flipped us off. That's why we came over here.
Walking around with like a hate speech billboard.
Right, but pretty reasonable that we came over here to talk to you after you flipped us off, correct? So if you didn't want the attention, you shouldn't have given it to us.
Multiple times not to video record me. Like, people go after people online and like destroy their lives.
You're in public. We're having very respectful conversations. We don't need to talk to you. You don't need to talk to us. Is that cool?
But I asked multiple times to not video record me.
These people cannot be serious with the things that they try to justify. She can't even explain her position, and as usual, the liberals and the woke people resort to walking away when they can't answer simple questions. If this is something you so fervently stand for and believe in, you should be able to explain it. But as per usual, I don't expect them to be able to explain this stupidity and nonsense.
I'm not trying to take away anyone's guns. If you want a gun, that's fine, that's cool. Yeah. But what do you need an AR-15 for? What do you need military-grade weapons for? Who are you protecting yourself
They don't use the AR-15 in the military. But you're saying like semi-auto rifles?
Exactly. Like, what do you need? Like, that's what we're trying to explain. Like, what do you need those type of guns for?
Should police be the only ones with those weapons?
Honestly, I don't even think that the police need to have guns.
Look at Detroit. They have some of the strictest gun laws, but they have the most gun crimes. They don't work.
They don't work. People get guns illegally. People own guns illegally. There's unregistered firearms. There's ghost firearms. They don't work.
Once again, these people do not know what they're talking about. They just walk around the streets, regurgitating what they hear from social media and their friends. And once they're confronted with questions, they don't know how to answer it except for to repeat the things that they hear from social media like robots. It's a very interesting phenomenon to see in today's day and age that people don't really know what they're talking about. They just say whatever sounds fancy and whatever is popular, and that's what they do. The higher-ups are literally laughing at how easy it is to control these people and do what they want them to do.
I totally disagree with that. Okay, so what have I said that's racist? Seriously. I mean, like, this is what...
Take your hat off. That's not
This
racist.
has nothing to do with the race and everything to do with the rule of law. Immigration's about the rule of law.
Immigration is about keeping the others out, even though this country was founded on genocide.
America is the most tolerant, multiracial country in the world.
They want to be inflammatory. Do not support or engage in this toxic stance.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, is that we have lost our ability to have a conversation in this country. You immediately get called something that you're not, you challenge it with facts and dialogue, and then they walk away.
America, just like a lot of these other Western countries who have all these people who complain about it and talk about how it was raised on genocide and it was built upon genocide, are all the people who love to complain and hate the country that they're in, but for some reason they never seem to want to leave it. It's very interesting that they love to complain about it, but also benefit from the genocide that they so-called claim it has been built upon.
We all are aware of what happened on campus last year.
I'm not.
Great, look it up. It was just involving LGBTQ members of the community feeling unsafe with rhetoric that's being shared.
Like if you're a biological man and someone says, hey, what's up, dude?
More of like there's students on campus that are living in communities where they don't feel safe because of rhetoric explaining that transphobia isn't accepted. So how do you think free speech impacts everybody in community?
Yeah, I mean, the idea that if somebody looks at a man and calls him a man, that they're suddenly unsafe because they've created a false reality in their own head. Yeah, I don't abide by that. I had a stalker who had suffered from schizophrenia, and he very much believed that he and I were in a relationship, and he would send me about 100 emails a day, okay? In the world of what you believe in your own head now needs to be accepted as reality, I would have had to marry him and raise my children with him. And me saying that this person needs to stay away from me and my family because there's something wrong with him and he was threatening to kill me if I didn't, raise my child with him, that was reality. The left is trying to make it seem that people who see reality for what it is are demented and are creating unsafe territory, and that's not the truth. In fact, what I think is unsafe territory is for people to be affirmed in their delusions. They wouldn't follow you around and say, hey, you're a male, totally fine, go live your life as you want to live your life. But when you say that the way that you live your life now has to impact me and I have to pretend that I see a woman when clearly you are a man, I shouldn't have to play that game. That's all. Thank you very much.
Nobody is afraid of the ABCD community. It's just all nonsense language that they love to use to try and fearmonger and shame people into following their ideology. It's very interesting. These will be the same people who complain about other people shaming them, but all they use is shaming language. Once I hear these terms come out of these woke people's mouths like rhetoric, safe space, cis, privilege, and pronouns, I do not take them seriously because all nonsense about to follow up after all of those words.
Please don't get too close. You're not wearing a mask.
Have you ever washed that mask?
Yes.
That's good because bacteria grows on it and it can cause a lung infection.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I washed it.
Okay, good. I just want you to stay safe while you're wearing that mask that infects your breathing. Do you know why surgeons wear a mask?
To keep from spitting stuff.
That's right. It doesn't stop anything from coming in. COVID can get all in your mask right now. Do you know that?
I'm aware of that.
Okay, so why do you wear it?
To protect you.
To protect me from what? Are you sick?
I have COVID and don't know it.
Are you sick?
No.
Okay, then you're fine. Gotcha, bitch.
All too often, I hear leaders talk about providing everyone with dignity and respect like it's an aspirational goal. That's not good enough. Dignity and respect is the bare minimum. It's the floor of where we can be. We must set our sights higher and focus on intentional inclusivity because there are still far too many people out there not just LGBTQ individuals that feel marginalized, shut out, or discriminated against. So for all of you out there, I ask you to set out your symbols of pride, share your pronouns in your email, particularly if you're a person who doesn't think they need to. Initiate difficult conversations about racial and gender barriers, and share a bit of your vulnerability in a way that draws others in. You all have the power to take intentionally inclusive actions to ensure the multiple perspectives that we know make us stronger as we devise winning warfighting strategies get heard.
It's funny how the ABCD community demands respect from everyone else, but they don't respect people's opinion. The ABCD community talk about love and inclusion and allow people to do what they want. But then when it comes to people who disagree with them, they don't want them to be able to think or do what they want. It's a very interesting ideology.